right, year two. Year two. First game. Cooking Mama Cook Star. Mara and I got that from the library. We cooked all the vegetarian dishes in that game. It was what you think it was. The next game was Cult of the Lamb. Pretty cool looking game. It was fun. Some of the things that were going on. It's a roguelike where you go into a dungeon and you beat a boss. The other half of the game is a farm simulator. The farm systems just didn't work. The fighting didn't work. I beat the third boss first try and I was so hyped, but it turned out I had just triggered an invincibility glitch and all I did to do that was pick an upgrade, which deflated me. The game drops frames like crazy. Most fun fight was the final fight, and they don't let you do it twice. Everything else is encouraged to replay. But the final boss, the only one I want to do that with, wouldn't let me. So, hopefully the game has been improved a lot. I played it in the beginning of the year, and I know they had a huge update for it, because it could be good. Yeah. Oh, okay, third game was a sick one. It's called Demon Throttle on the Switch. Yeah.
That demon kissed my wife. Or something.
So this game kind of looks like a Super Nintendo game, and it's a shmup with a jump button. You're like a cowboy, right? And then this vampirist, she's like, yo, we should go hunt down that sketchy demon. So yeah, you go, it's just 4 levels. They're super crazy. The levels can change. They have weather. It's super hard. Mara and I beat it with a cheat on that gives you like an extra life and your bullets have piercing damage. So cool. Physical only, which is so lame because I could have convinced more of my friends to play this if you didn't have to order a cart. But published by Devolver, which was Cult of the Lamb. So back to back. After this one, I finished, oh yeah, Blue Reflections Second Light. I talked about it a bit. I'll talk about it again. It's a Gust game. You know about Gust from the Atelier Ryza series that got popular because of her thighs recently. So this is another game by Gust, and it's Sailor Moon. It's a bunch of girls on an island that deal with their problems and stuff. And there is an overarching plot, but it is just forgetful. And that's my main beef with the game. It's like a cozy RPG, which is sick, but you will finish it, or I finished it, and I just felt nothing. I enjoyed all the scenarios, I enjoyed the characters, the gameplay is perfect, like as a mechanical RPG. Battle system, so sick and so fast. Just no big narrative to glue it all together, so it just kind of feels empty. What did I do after that? Cotting made us do it. Cotting made the whole Discord play Doki Doki Literature Club, which is a visual novel, but it's also a psychological horror thriller. Kinda. It's like a play on visual novels. It uses visual novels to set you up for this journey, but if you're feeling depressed, don't play this, but if you got 4 hours and you're feeling okay, you gotta play this game. It's free on Steam. It's free. You can just go play it. You don't have to pay for it on the Switch like I did, but it's cool. It's cool on the Switch. Great game. Can highly suggest it. Oh, sick! I beat a Game Boy game this year. Hold up. You can't see it. It's okay. This is Cosmo Tank, which is an Atlas game. It's a first-person dungeon crawler mixed with 3 different kinds of shmup. Of course, I played it on Super Game Boy. The coolest thing about this game, besides being my first-person dungeon crawler, is the outro credit song was phenomenal, and they just let white text go to it, but I went ahead and made like an edit of all the footage I captured from the game to it, so. Cosmo Tank was pretty sick. I played Mega Man X4, which is nice. It's always nice to play another Mega Man X game because Mega Man X rips. Mega Man X4, pretty rad. My first non-Super Nintendo one. I've only played the first 3. And there's some latency between the PlayStation and the Super Nintendo, which has always been what's deterred me, but they actually handled it with mechanics. So in this game, you can hold dash and repetitively get wall dash jumps. And if you don't play Mega Man, you don't know what I'm saying, but it feels good. Oh, sick. Okay, this was my first favorite game of the year. Like, this is the first game I played, and I was like, that's the best game I played. And it stuck with me for a while. It still might be the best. Parasite Eve on the PlayStation 1. So cool. So cool. It's just an action movie. It's a late 90s action movie that's kind of an RPG. Square was like, we should make a Resident Evil. But instead of making a clone, they made it a Square Resident Evil. The battle system in this is so peculiar and so fun. And I did a challenge run of this. Of course I did, because I play all games wrong. So I essentially did a no gun mod, a challenge run of the entire game until the final boss. And the final boss was so hard that I was like, I'm missing something. Awesome game. Do you go outside, Frey? Go ahead, live your life, girl. Alright, the next game I played was Evil Tonight. I was on a survival horror kick because Parasite Eve was so good that I was like, this is the genre I play now, right? Evil Tonight was almost fun. there's a mode called Balance that stopped giving health drops at the halfway point, which doesn't make a survival horror game hard. It forces you to play them as a speed run, which is historically part of that genre. You suffer through the game, then you know all the puzzles and the locations, then you speedrun it. It's fun, but they took away the first survival. I was the worst save prison I've ever been in. I had to play half the game without getting hit. It was beyond frustrating. Super pretty. It's like Resident Evil on the Super Nintendo, but on the Switch, which is super cool.
But you gotta play on casual, please.
After Evil Tonight, I played Valkyrie Profile Lenin. This is the PSP disc. I did not play this. In fact, I bet I couldn't have beaten this version of the game. I played the remaster on PS4 that has the rewind feature. This game sucks. It's cool, thematically badass, so dark. Some of the side stories still sit with me. So it's not that there's nothing good about this game. There's actually things that are profound. And there's also the fact that they tried something different, which I respect. It just fails. The platforming is the jank doesn't even... The platforming sucks. Progression of the game sucks. Menus and sub-menus suck. I bet if you knew every system of this game that it's super fun. But I bet that that's like 0.1% of all the people that have ever played this game. It took an entire Discord of human beings pulling me through this game, along with videos and supplemental information that people would post, because nothing's explained and it's the most complex game ever. This was a game of the month, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're gonna do better. We're gonna do better. But thanks for checking this off. It's also a bummer because Valkyrie Profile Covenant of the Plume is like one of my all-time strategy games. So I was feeling good entering the first Valkyrie Profile game, and it just turned out to be a turd. But whatever. Okay, after that, dude, Cold Steel 2. Okay, I didn't really like Cold Steel 1 until I did, and then it was sick. But this game just starts out on fire, and then it stays on fire, and then at the end it's on fire, and that's it. That's the whole thing. It just keeps a pace of like, it's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Trails is sick. We played so many this year. You'll hear as I'm about to be talking about more, but I thought Cold Steel 2 was awesome. It was also, out of all the Trails I've played so far, mechanically the most fun. The actual gameplay is really fun. Yeah, this game was sick. I played Scott Pilgrim with my boy Sam. It follows like the movie, and it's a beat 'em up. but it's the perfect kind of beat 'em up that has a little bit of RPG elements added. So as you play, you get stronger. So say you die, you'll keep your money and you'll keep your experience. So the next time you get there, it'll be slightly easier. We beat the game twice. We beat the game once legitimately, and then after, we just kept using the cheat for infinite money and experience. And we bought all these crazy things and just whooped it again on like hard mode. It's just really fun. It's a great game. If it's cheap, you should download it. That's a great multiplayer game to have. And then after that, I know we were feeling good. The Discord did Trails in the Sky. And it's probably the only time we'll ever do 2 Trails games back to back. It was brutal. Tom's doing it now with Sky 2 and Sky 3. Everyone's done it. Brad's done 3 in a row, so shout out to Brad. The Sky one is awesome. It's like a low stakes adventure. You get to be on the bracer side of things, which we learned about from Cold Steel. Well, I learned. You don't know what I'm talking about because you probably don't play Trails. But I loved it. It was slow because that's what Trails is, but I loved it. I loved the characters, some of the best characters I've seen in Trails, some of the best writing. Yeah, I get why people talk so highly about the Sky series. After that, oh yeah, Mar and I, we can't stay away. We can't do it. We cannot do it. This is the best game ever. I just got Kai to play it. He didn't agree that this is the best game ever because he's wrong. And he just doesn't know that this is the best game ever. I think that we have played this 4th playthrough, and this time we got Catherine alternative ending. Phenomenal. This game is so good. If you suggest it to people, turns out don't suggest the remixed mode. I guess it's not fun. I've been playing so much that I only play remixed, but it can be intimidating to a new player. We played this one on the Switch. It had the DLC downloaded. The DLC lets you see everyone in their underwear, so the scenes are just more ridiculous.
You think you look good in those?
Yes?
11 out of 10 game, maybe higher. What do you play after Catherine? Oh, a great game. I rented this from the library at first and then bought it immediately because I knew. Neo, The World Ends With You. It's a direct sequel to the first game. I've never played the first game. Didn't need to. I pretty much figured out the events from this game. And this game is awesome. One of the most interesting active battle systems in any game. Every character has a badge, and that badge has a technique it does and a cooldown time. And all of these attacks, when they land, they allow a follow-up hit within a window to double damage. So you get in this beautiful like orchestration of how all your moves should hit, and whew, when it's playing well, this game feels crazy. Nami, one of my favorite characters now. Like, she's just into like romance novels during what's a pretty chaotic plot as a whole. The only thing, like, I finished the game, I love the characters, I love the gameplay, I love the art, but I don't really think about this game now, which is a bummer.
How's that? That was sick! Let's wreck 'em! Fight on! I got you!
No, I don't want to update anything. Get in here, girl. About to talk about Shin Megami Tensei 4, girl. You like that one? You like that one, girl? SMT 4. It's kind of gnarly having an SMT game for Game of the Month because they're huge. They're just massive games, but they're really worth it. SMT 4 was so worth it. What a story to be taken on. SMT desensitizes you to decision making. There's hundreds of decisions you're gonna make, and every single playthrough is gonna be unique. The ambience, the vibe, the characters, the bleakness, the unhinged interactions with demons. SMT is so cool, and SMT 4 is a great one. The first 8 hours are almost impossible. It just has a crazy difficulty curve. You will be safe scrubbing through the first whole dungeon trying to survive. The rest of the game is much easier. Oh, you know what I played after SMT 4? Wow, there was a new Final Fantasy this year. That's crazy. Every year there's a new Final Fantasy. It's just like kind of overwhelming to me. I didn't even own a PS5, and I'm not even psyched on PS5s. They're so ugly, and my PS4 does almost everything it does without the price tag. But I had to buy it because I'm gonna play the new Final Fantasy. The reason I own a PS4 is because Final Fantasy 15 came out. So I love this game. I think it's amazing that we got a mature Final Fantasy. I think it's amazing that they made a modern game that feels like Final Fantasy. Above all else, the journey of the story is just beautiful. I cried at the end. Great game. This was a great game of the month. This is actually Tom's favorite Final Fantasy 2, which is cool. So shout out Tom. It's not, he hates that game. Oh yes, I found it. Oh, check this out. This is so crazy. If you would have told me I would play a Mega Man game that I thought was a superior series to X, I would laugh in your face, but here we are. The Mega Man Zero games. I'm just gonna talk about them all. Mega Man Zero, when I say that, I refer to Mega Man Zero 1, 2, 3, 4, the complete series. The best Mega Man that I've played. Well, the, dashing Mega Man, like a fast one. So good. They all have their problems. None of these games are perfect, but they just achieve so much that it's incredible. 2 and 3 are the most fun and most complete in my opinion, but you'd be a fool not to just start from the beginning and play the series. Amazing, fast, precise, incredible movement, incredible music, the best Mega Man series I've played. This collection on the Switch is the best too. It has some extra checkpoints, which helps because there's a few unfair platforming moments, and they just get rid of that. They just give you, if you make it through it once, you don't have to do it twice. So thank you so much, Capcom, for making this. It also comes with the ZX games. I played the first ZX. What was that? You think I want Metroidvania in my Mega Man game? No, I want to hold right and shoot everything that comes. I was not a fan. Not a fan. I'll try ZX Advent, but I don't know. It's not what I'm looking for. But the first 4 Zero games. Mara and I then played WarioWare Get It Together. It was mid. It was an okay game. Oh, we played Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, another game of the month. It was pretty fun. Point and click adventure, like lawyer stuff. A little Japanese-ish. It was good. Yeah, it was very okay. There's an anime that just covers the cases pretty much exactly from the game. And I plan on watching the anime for the 2nd and 3rd Phoenix Wright. I enjoyed the game. It's not my favorite gameplay loop though. But if you like point and click adventure, the comedy and the writing is great. You know what I had to play after that? Final Fantasy 16 again.
Well, there's nothing to say that hasn't already been said. But that's never stopped me before.
And I did it again. I had to run it back. I played on Final Fantasy mode. Cried again. Are you kidding me? Oh. Just play this game.
Titan's tits.
Oh yeah. I got 2 games here. My buddy Elstrand, shout out Elstrand, he visited me this year. And the first game we played up to was Pocky and Rocky. It was a very hard game. We beat it on easy, which I'm still proud of. Same with Contra 3 Alien Wars. Some games are just that hard. I did beat Sunset Riders on normal though. That's an achievement. But him and I beat this on easy. We got like maybe 70% through the game and then went tubing, left the console on, turned the TV off, came back and beat it at night. So it was like a full Super Nintendo experience. It was beautiful. Thank you, Eric. Great game. Best part about this as a multiplayer is that you can hit your partner and send them ricocheting around the screen. That's my favorite part. Go! The other game him and I beat, Terranigma. Thanks, Tom, for making me this cart. It's a pretty interesting game. It's a silly game, but it has incredibly profound moments. There's a scene with a mountain goat that I will never forget. And the game is so silly that I'm not sure these scenes hit for everyone. It's worth a playthrough. I would suggest a guide. The gameplay is just okay, like pretty okay, fun battling, nothing like too bad. Couple terrible bosses, a confusing magic system, but it's all survivable, especially with a guide. But as an RPG, I just won't forget this. There's some moments in this game that I was just like, whoa.
You getting it, babe?
Oh, yeah.
After Terranigma, the Discord went to Trails in the Sky, the 2nd chapter. Closes out a lot of things from Sky 1. Great character development, great plot development. It's fun. The first 3 chapters are not necessary. Neither is chapter 4, but it's not as heinous as the first 3. And I don't understand Falcom's need to do this. They make an incredibly beautiful game, and then they stuff 20 hours of things I don't care about right before it. It's just, what is that? I don't know. It's weird because I also love trails. Like, I'm a fanatic. But what are y'all doing? Stop. I got other things to do. I got a life. You know what I mean? So what you need to do is, with the new ones from the East, include them with a save file that starts at chapter 4. I'm sick of it. Okay, we don't want to do it anymore. Moving on. My buddy Walter came and visited me next. He played 2 Snipper Clips levels, but something amazing happened. We rolled credits. I had never really dreamed of it, but after what seems like 2 years of playing with friends, we saw the credits. I just want to thank Byron, Becca, Brendan, Mara, Cody, Maggie, and Walter, because thanks to you guys, we got to see the end of a fantastic multiplayer. I talked about this game last year. You know I think it's awesome. Check it out. Again, Snipper Clips Plus. Yes. So the next game, I had no interest in. Wasn't even on my radar. I had heard that there's a new Mario coming out this year, and I was like, cool. Yeah, that's cool. Like, Odyssey was fun, but I don't really care. And then a week before Wonder came out, I found out it was a 2D side-scroller, and I was like, yes! I had been actively considering buying new Super Mario Bros. Wii U Double Awesome New... I don't know what it is. One of those games I had already beaten, but just for a co-op experience with Mara. And then this comes out. I rode my road bike up and I think I bought it the day it came out. Beat this game in 6 days. Everything awesome. Love it. Game of the year. This is my favorite game of the year. I think it's the best game of the year. They did it. I think this game feels better than Super Mario World. So that's saying a lot because that game, wow. What a year so far. What's next? You know, okay. This is cool. Sometimes games are just cool because you check them off finally, right? So for October, for our game of the month, we tried to do something spooky like a horror game. Shadow Hearts Covenant is the sequel to the first Shadow Hearts. It's made by Midway. You may know them for like Rush games. I just had a thought. I did not beat these games, but I kind of did. Rush 1 and Rush 2 on the N64. Yeah, buddy. Especially Rush 2. These are the goats of racing, and my uncle came to town, and this is our game. This is what we grew up playing, so we went through it. And you know what beating Rush looks like? I'll tell you. You put in Rush 1. You play that one level. Then you play that other level. Then you play the level 6. Then you go to the secret part of level 6, the stunt course. Then you remember that you have to turn cheats on so that you don't get teleported out. And you go back and you do some flips till you get bored. Then you put Rush 2 in and you enjoy the opening. After that, you go straight to the stunt course because you were feeling the stunt course from the first one. And then after the stunt course gets a little tiring, you go straight to Alcatraz, the best level, and you try to get most of the keys. Do you get all the keys? No. That one floating above the prison? Who's gotten that? I don't know. But you get most of them, so you unlock the second to last car. Not the prototype, but I don't know what it is. And it's such a sick multiplayer experience. You're just looking for keys and Mountain Dew cans. So yeah, I wanted to include Rush 1 and Rush 2 because we almost beat it. The only thing we didn't do is play that other level on Rush 1. So here it is now, Jim. We've done it. We beat it. We beat both these games. Love you, bud.
I don't even know why I need a gas pedal. I'd never take my foot off it.
Just give me a button on.
Yeah.
This feels like, you know what this feels like? Feels like their dev team was like, all right, we got the new lineup for the new fighting game we're going to make, and it's sick. They're full of life, and they're like crazy charismatic. They're all over the place. none of them should be in the same room together. And then they're like, oh no, we're gonna make an RPG, and they're like, yeah, that'll work. So that's what it feels like. It feels like this crazy cast of characters that are so fun go through a very, I don't know, the plot gets lost a lot of times. There's demons. It's a historical fiction. So World War I is breaking out, but with a little bit of demon summoning added in just for good measure. I said this game was a 7 that's easy to love, and that's how I feel about it. The coolest thing about it, the reason that you're going to keep hearing about it is because the battle system is a timed hit battle system like Legend of the Dragoon, but it works on what's called a judgment ring, and it's really addicting. If you don't like that, just stop playing the game, because that was the bread and butter for me, and that's what got me through to the end. The second disc has a completely different narrative than the first, which is cool. What did we do after Shadow Hearts Covenant? Coding made me do it. I played Nier Automata. It's pretty cool. It's a really pretty game. It's beautiful. It's a little pretentious. It has some bad design choices. The OST could win an award. The voice acting is great. It overstayed its welcome with me. I also tried to rush through it. Maybe it's partly my fault. I think it's a great game. I think it deserves everything, all the praise it's ever been given. It wasn't that fun, but it was a great game. The water shmup action sequence is so sick. That is incredible. That's like the most alive I felt playing this game, so kudos there. Alright, after Nier Automata. So look at this. So we got a new Final Fantasy this year, and then we got a remake of an old Final Fantasy. The best Final Fantasy. Super Mario RPG Remake. Are you kidding me? This is the best game ever made. This is the most important game to me of all time, and the remake is almost perfect. I just had a few frame drops, so it can't be perfect, but it's like 9.99. You know what I mean? It embodies the original, the spirit, while also updating everything, and feels so good to play. After you beat it, there's extra content that is geared towards your new moveset. And it is so fun. The few lines of dialogue that are added are perfect. Booster referring to Princess Toadstool as Pink Lady after, well, maybe you've never played this game, so I won't spoil that, but it's perfect. This game. Oh, I should have mentioned this. I'm a PC gamer now, thanks to Trails in the Sky only being on PC. Shout out Cam for giving me your laptop. Awesome. And the reason I just said that is because my next game was The Messenger. The Discord. A lot of people in the Discord were playing, so I downloaded it. It was on sale for $4.99. I love cheap games. It's a great little platformer. It's a 10-hour game. The first 5 hours are a left-to-right platformer. The second 5 are a Hollow Knightia, also known as Metroidvania. Music is so dope. That's the number one thing I still remember about that game. I listened to it in the car. The music is crazy good. The shopkeeper has such sick dialogue. I don't know, it's quirky and it's fun. The platforming is very good and pretty concise. There's the cloud jump, which is your main mechanic, and then it will slightly become stronger when you add things like the wingsuit. It's just enough to be robust without overwhelming you. The second half overstayed its welcome. I just didn't want to do a Metroidvania, so it's really not the game's fault. It's really more me, but I can suggest this game easily, and if you beat the first half and you're done, then be done. If you want more, then do more. The second half is cool, just different. And right after that, Mara and I finally beat A Space for the Unbound. We did it. We did it. So, it's one of those games. So it ended and it was beautiful. And I'm still thinking about it and it's so heavy and I just feel bad.
For a moment, my mind rose from reality. Was it heaven I touched?
I don't think you should play that game. There was nothing happening for so long. If you do, the story is great. Yeah, it was sad. Moving on. Talking about coolest games of the year. Sin and Punishment 2, Star Successor. It's the sequel to the N64 game. On the Wii, 10 out of 10, a perfect game. It's awesome. It's chaotic. It's a game. It's learnable but hard. Like, it'll whoop you, but you could do it. Like, one more, you could do it. I don't know what to say. After Sin and Punishment, I played Koto Dama, it doesn't matter. That game sucked. Chaos Head Noah. What a weird experience for me. It's a 25-hour visual novel, and it was the best visual novel I'd ever played. Structurally and story-wise, it had me engaged. You follow the protagonist, which is this detestable little scum, and it kind of works. You hate him, but that drives the plot. And then in chapter 10, it turns into a Gorno, and this isn't hyperbole. Chapter 10 got censored, and it still received the Japanese rating of 18+. So that's not mature, that's not R-rated, that's porn. I felt sick reading the last chapter, and beyond the Gorno part, the plot fell apart. This was Death Note for 9 chapters, and then it ended with throw your sword at it, bro. The chapters I did like, it was enjoyable, so I'm not mad about this one. 9 great chapters, 1 stinker. Oh, page number 2. Sky 3. Trails in the Sky, the 3rd. What a weird game. The duology of Sky 1 and Sky 2 wraps itself up pretty well. So at first I'm like, what is this? What am I playing? But it's awesome. It's an epilogue to Sky, which you've spent so many hours with these characters. It's great to like see them and love them and see what's going on. And it's also a prologue to the Crossbow games, 0 and Azure. It is structured in a way that favors the player's time, which is so nice. It is so nice to feel that way. You can do side content at your leisure. Characters are explored in all new ways. The battle system is the best it's ever felt in the Sky trilogy. It's just my favorite. It's my favorite Sky. We're getting there. We should be through Cold Steel at the end of this year, which is exciting, and then Trails into Reverie 2025. If you're a Trails fan, you gotta plan years ahead. After Sky 3, I played the most anticipated sequel of the year, the sequel to Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Crystal Bearer. It's not actually a sequel, but this looks like Joshua from Final Fantasy 16, and he is a crystal bearer, and bearers are essentially the same as bears in 16, people that can command magic through the crystals that are feared by the populace. We hang out with our boy whose name is Lael, but he's cool. He don't care. Like, he really don't give a, you know what I mean? And he only cares about, he's like, word is bond. That's his whole thing. So there's moments in this where like, yo, it's gonna start a war, and he's like, I don't care, just paying a favor back. It's a Wii game, so it's a little bit dated. Like, there's some times where I was like rolling my eyes. But overall, it was great. It was kind of a Mystic Quest experience, if you know what I mean. You know, just fun. Just like streamlined Final Fantasy, just the mini games. Oh, there was a dancing mini game in this where you had both the Wiimotes, right? And it felt like Beat Saber, but old school. It's pretty great. If you're a deep Final Fantasy fan like me, this is worth it. Don't let the Crystal Chronicles subtitle deter you. That is a sub-series, but you don't need to know anything to play this game. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy, check it out. So I go to Texas, I'm at a game store. The homie working is like, dude, you gotta buy Splashdown. And we go and we look for it. He's like, oh, somebody must have bought it. Anyways, 8 months later, I found it at my local game store. I found Splashdown for $7, and I was hyped. It's pretty okay. I beat this game on easy, and it's like, it's more on the simulation side, but it's pretty fun. I can say it's a good jet ski game. Okay, so this is the last game I've currently beaten. Future Rawb here, denoted by the black beanie and Frida puzzle on the table now. Mar and I beat one other game, Super Bust-A-Move. We love Bust-A-Move. This one's great. It's a little bright on the eyes. That's the only thing I gotta say. Two accolades for the Discord that must be mentioned. Tom, congratulations on 100 games completed last year. And Gary, congratulations on 100 super jumps in Super Mario RPG. You guys are awesome. Now let's kick it back to past Rawb. Multiplayer of the year now. Only 2 games this year. Only 2 games. One of them is Jeopardy, which is kind of self-explanatory. And the other one is Bust-A-Move on the Super Nintendo. we love Bust a Move and we love Jeopardy. And then lastly, what I'm going to end on is my pickup of the year. This is the coolest thing I found this year. Here is a PS2 game where you can drift souped up semi-trucks. I played it for 10 minutes. Will I ever play it again? I don't know. Is it cool? It's really cool. That's it. Thank you for another year of gaming. Do people know what Bust a Move is, you think?